Hi, I'm Tony Gard, and welcome to another edition of Coffee with Kinetic Vision. And we are sitting here today with Alec Lissy. Alec, welcome.
Thank you.
So Alec, you lead the interactive group here at Kinetic Vision. And today we're specifically going to be talking about how digital twins plays into interactive.
Yeah.
Right? So can you tell me a little bit, just in general, how that takes place?
An interactive digital twin is an extension or the next phase or a part of a digital twin where a user can answer questions, can go through a process, and can affect what the overall environment looks like while still being based in quantitative reality or being based in true real-world data. Imagine you have a cockpit of a 737, and it's a real-life cockpit. You go in, sit in it, and when you move the yoke and you flip a switch, the plane acts how the plane acts. Well, if we have that digitally, if we have that virtually, while I'm in a VR headset at a computer or just using a mouse and keyboard, if I move the digital yoke, the digital plane will move the flaps, will move the rudders. That's an interactive digital twin. There's
a lot of different definitions out there of what digital twins are, right? And can you maybe clarify why there's so many definitions and maybe solidify that a little for us?
If we have a 3D model of something that exists in real life, and that model in some way replicates how it works in the real world, then that's a digital twin. A car in a virtual wind tunnel, simulating a milk jug dropping from height, that's a digital twin.
So how can interactive digital twins be unique and applied to manufacturing to optimize space and production?
You can take something as simple as a scan of a manufacturing line. And with that scan, you have a 3D model of the device, and you can move that device onto different areas of the floor within VR or on a computer. You can see, hey, can we fit 5 more of these lines in this manufacturing space?
So you're not just scanning the equipment, you're scanning the facility as well?
Yes. In reality, you can start with something as simple as making a digital twin of a single machine in a single factory, and that gives you value. Because that single machine digital twin leads to uptime data, it leads to efficiency data, and it leads to even training applications where you take that digital twin and use that as the input for teaching operators how to use the machine.
If someone were sitting out there and they're like, okay, how do I begin to implement this in manufacturing? What would be like the first step, the first way they would do it?
We can create a 3D scan of your line or even a subset of the line, turn that machine into a 3D model that somebody can go in and use and work with and actually hit the start button, hit the reload button, start up the line, and we train them how to use that.
Okay, so the value within manufacturing sounds a lot bigger than just being able to position this in the factory.
Yeah. At the core of it is a 3D model of what you have in the real world. And that 3D model is just as much capital and intellectual property for you as the real item is. Because with that model, you can train people how to use it, explore differences in it, and then expand it out to see how it would work with the full line digitally. You can make sure that your store shelf looks the best way that it can. You can make sure that your trucks are moving to their destination in the most effective way. And with both of those, you can change the variables to them to see what you discover.
Let's talk briefly about interactive digital twins in the realm of training, education, and design.
Going back to the 737 digital twin, if I have my twin of that plane cockpit, I can train people what switches that they need to press to perform an action inside of the cockpit. But with that same digital twin, somebody who's trying to improve the user interactivity of the real cockpit could come in, say, I want to move this control over here. And with that single grab and drag, perform the same action again with the new control layout and see if the results work.
And I'm assuming if you have multiple users, you can track what they do?
Yes, yes, you can. Through eye tracking, through hand tracking, through gaze or head tracking, you can see how people react inside of the twin.
So you can see where at in the process there's a flaw or a fail.
Exactly.
Oh, very
You
cool.
can see where people get held up, where people get confused, or where the interaction just doesn't work.
Wow, that's powerful. So if somebody out there heard something they liked and they're interested and they want to reach out to you and just start a conversation to see if there might be something here, what would they do? How would they go about getting in contact with you?
You can go to our website, kinetic-vision.com. You can go to the interactive section and explore some of the examples of what we've worked on. And if you'd just like to get in contact to have a cup of coffee with me or talk about what you want to do with digital twins, then you can hit contact us and we'll get right back to you.
Well, Alec, I'm gonna give you a cheers here. Thank you for joining us today and sharing all of the great knowledge of interactive digital twins. I want to thank you for joining us, and you're always welcome here at Kinetic Vision to have coffee with us.
Thanks, Tony.